Well, happy Monday morning to ya. It's Leza Live on the radio, on the news, 103.5 FM, KYCA. And it's a little unnerving that the boss is in the studio with us, Jason Zenzaletta, and he has what in his hand?
He has a pink slip, and
really
I don't
does.
like it.
He really does.
I mean, and he's looking at me very sternly.
How can you fire him, though? He's not really technically an employee here.
Oh, I'm not here for him.
I'm dead. Oh, I was going to say, I'm already desperate, Jason.
I wouldn't do that to you on the air.
Oh, I would hope not.
But
Jeez.
we do have a meeting scheduled at 10 o'clock.
All right. Well, I'll be there with bells on. How's it going, Jason? You've got some huge news to share with the people.
Hey, we're hanging in there, and all my fellow babies out in Prescott, you're about to hear the newest radio station in Prescott. It's going to be signing on at noon today, and that is Prescott's Classic Rock 93.5. I wanna rock!
How is that for
All right.
being queued up?
That sounds actually a little soft compared to what we're going to play.
Oh, boy.
Now he's speaking my language.
Brand new radio station coming on the airwaves today at noon.
That's right.
This is very exciting stuff. 93.5 Prescott's Classic Rock. I screwed it up.
It wasn't
Darn
me.
it.
See? He's got the slip ready to go. That's what it's for.
That's one.
Slip of the tongue. Tell us all about this, Jason.
Well, we've had this in our thoughts for a little while, and we finally had the opportunity to get the news to think of a new format.
Yeah.
Now, I was thinking of Bulgarian folk music.
Lovely.
That was a thought.
That's been done
And-
so many times.
And then we were also thinking, possibly, nonstop Stairway to Heaven played
Yeah.
over and over. But there's a station that already did that in Florida one
You're
time.
right.
So no, we were not going to do that. So we decided Prescott Classic Rock. And so what we're doing, if you tune in before noon, you're going to hear Calm Radio, because we've had Calm on there for the last few years
Okay.
as a fill-in.
Yeah.
And we're going to switch the format up at noon, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's going to be a shocker to the people that don't know what's happening.
We're going to give you
Yep.
plenty of warning. Plenty of warning.
Okay.
Now, if you listen to Calm and you've been listening on 93.5, you're still going to be able to hear Calm, 101.7 and 102.1. It's still there. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
I wouldn't do that to everybody around here.
No.
I just
We
couldn't.
love our calm music.
But it was about time for a new radio station in Prescott,
Yes.
and here it is. So you can hear it in Prescott Valley, you can hear it in Prescott. Chino's a little iffy for now, but
Okay.
we're working on that. We're going to be working on an app. We're going to be working on the website. It's coming pretty soon. So, folks, for the next few days, and you know what? It is a local station. We are
Right.
going to have local people on there eventually. But for right now, everybody just needs to enjoy the music.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to be playing iconic tracks from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Legendary artists like the Rolling Stones, Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, Queen, AC/DC, you name it. We're going to be rocking.
We're going to even dive into the 90s just a little
That's
bit.
okay. That's all right.
There's a little bit of Foo Fighters. There's a little bit of Nirvana. There's
Yeah.
a little bit of that in there.
Well, the thing is that the 90s is now considered classic rock.
You know?
I mean,
Stop
that was,
reminding me.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I was writing, they said you need to write some liners out. So I was
Yeah.
writing some of the stuff out.
Right.
And I said, to us today, it's classic rock.
Yeah.
But to those of us who lived it, it's just rock.
Ah, you
Yeah.
go. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there. Very exciting stuff. Congratulations to Prescott's Broadcasting Group and the new radio station coming on live today at noon.
That's right, today at noon. And just know this, folks, more to come.
More to come.
More to come. ...
That's exciting, right?
Very exciting.
See, he's not getting rid of us. He's got another station he's got to put content on.
Yeah, maybe he came in to make you work more.
Oh.
The 1 hour is not enough,
Dun,
Leza.
dun, dun.
There's an idea.
There's an
Thank you.
idea.
Thank you, Matt. I
You're
like
welcome.
that.
Yeah, put
I
me
gotta-
to work,
I
Matt.
got to write that one down. Let me put a pin in
There
it
you
right
go.
up here.
There you go.
All
Awesome,
right.
Jason. Well, congrats, and we'll be listening.
Oh, thanks, Leza. Looking
You're
forward to it.
welcome. You're welcome. Well, what do you think about that, Maddie? I know how you like your rock and roll.
Yeah, I'm already ready to request Slayer and
Yeah.
Gojira
Yeah.
and Slipknot.
We'll get it
and
done. We'll get it done.
You're the best.
How's it going in there, Drew?
Fantastic.
You got to love that news, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the music just connects the world, Hard to fight when we're listening to good music.
especially good music.
Especially
Because you know
good
what?
music.
It is the same all over the world.
Yep, absolutely.
And we need to remember that.
Yep, absolutely. Well, they say that if you're feeling down, just turn on some music and crank it up.
I think it depends on the music. Because
Oh.
I was at some music and we were fighting pretty good.
Good
Turn
point.
it up.
Turn it up, baby. Well, we got to talk about the weather. Absolutely gorgeous weekend. I was in the valley twice, and I survived it.
Not bad.
That's a positive.
Yeah. On Friday,
It wasn't as hot as it was supposed to be down there. I heard it was only 106.
only 106.
Only.
Has that ever been said before?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right. Well, I hear it's going to be 109 again today down there. And I thought we were going to head down into the 80s this week. Is that true? Tell me, Drew.
Yes, but that's going to be towards the end of the week.
Okay. All right.
We're on day 12 of setting records again.
Amazing.
So we have now, we have 11 days of tying or exceeding records, and today looks like we're going to do it again.
With a
They
high
said
of what?
High at 91.
91.
And
Yeah.
and it was 89 was the record.
Okay.
So
All right.
the chance of breaking it, and that would be 12 days in a row, which will be a record for Yabai.
Listen to Drew with
So-
all these
Unbelievable.
records.
He's going to have to reach out to Jason then.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're trying to get Jason Cada on the show.
All right.
So see what you can
I'm
do.
going to make that happen.
Yeah,
for you.
I know he's busy predicting the weather. I mean, it's a big job. But he can just phone in, the number, 928-541-1016. We would love to hear from a real meteorologist every once in a while. I mean,
Yeah,
Drew does it, he does good enough.
Drew's a
And
real person.
I appreciate that, but I'm not a Jason. I don't claim to be.
Right.
But I will contact him tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay? I
Okay.
will send him a special email.
Right, request his presence on this
for
big
presence
show.
either on phone or in person.
Perfect.
I think we should get him here in person.
Heck yeah.
All right.
I'm down.
All
I'm
right,
down
Jason,
with it.
if you're listening, you'll be getting a note here tomorrow.
Of course he's listening. Everybody's listening.
Yeah, no, who doesn't listen to this radio station?
All right.
Well, he could be recording right now.
That's true. Good point.
So-
I feel like we've had this conversation before about Jason.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we really can't complain. I mean, Florida bracing for another huge storm. Tropical storm Milton may be coming. Has formed in the Gulf of Mexico. According to the National Hurricane Center, their concern is that the storm could strengthen into a hurricane and bring the risk of life-threatening winds back to the western coast of Florida.
Those people are not getting any relief, are they?
No relief whatsoever. So like I said, we can't complain. It's going to be 91 here. Big deal. We can handle it. We can
Yeah,
handle
I
it.
saw on the news, I think it's strengthened to a Category 4.
Hey, ouch.
And
Ouch.
that's bad because that's just what hit,
Right.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So-
Well, thoughts and prayers, holding our breath that everything will be okay. How was your weekend?
Busy.
Busy. Did you sell some homes? List some
No,
homes?
I
Clean
worked
up
a-
your home.
I
What'd you
worked
do?
I worked a little bit, but I mostly worked on my Jeep.
Aha.
The big run is this Saturday.
That's right.
And I
the
wanted to make-
Trails for Tatas.
Yeah, I wanted to make
Yeah,
sure
you're a big
it was
fan
lifted.
of Trails
Yeah.
and Tatas, so
I
you'll,
like
you'll be
trails
riding.
and Tatas.
I just
yeah.
said that.
Exactly. No, you're right.
I mean, I was assuming.
I'm agreeing
I don't
with
know
you.
firsthand, but
If you did, that'd be awkward.
you are a red-blooded American man, so
True. Very true.
So you got the Jeep all ready for the big trail ride.
I was over at my buddy's house all night on Friday, and
Yeah.
then for 12 or 13 hours on Saturday. So
Wow.
it's lifted 2 more inches.
Wow.
Matches the new tires and wheels. I mean, it's a beast.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll
nice.
be fun.
Okay, very good. How about you, Drew? You have a good weekend?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Just was a little under the weather, but was able to, regroup
And rest?
Yeah, I got some sleep in there. Got to take care of the dog, but
Yeah.
got my Halloween decorations up.
Ah,
so,
there you go.
Got one thing off the list.
That's awesome. Do you do the whole house or the yard, or what do you do?
I have inside and outside.
Nice.
And then Jamie does her fall stuff.
Yeah.
But I do the
Halloween stuff.
skeletons and the heads and the blinking eyes.
I
and
love it. Do you get trick-or-treaters at your house?
not very many. I
Yeah.
think in 5 years we've had 4 kids.
Yeah.
But it is my
my
favorite.
house,
It is
too.
my favorite. I think it should be a holiday.
Yeah.
But it is one of the favorite things that I like, and I like
I
the
love
kids.
it.
And
So you
yeah.
put it up for you more than
Yeah.
the trick-or-treaters. I love that.
I have a 5.5-foot spider web with a
Oh my
with a
gosh.
spider that's about 18 inches.
What does Bella think about that?
She just looks at it and
Yeah.
gives it the funny look, and that's it.
I'm curious to see how Bubba's going to react to all the scary stuff because he's very alert. You know, he notices new things, and I just don't want to scare the little guy.
Well, I will tell you this. I have a life-size skeleton with the eyes that
Yes.
blink,
Yeah.
and Bella just goes and growls at him.
Yeah.
You know, it's really funny.
I
But
bet. I bet.
sooner or later, I think she's going to go for him.
She's like, I'm going to chew on his femur.
Absolutely.
Big time.
You know, but we have a hat, and he's smoking a cigarette. So
Yeah,
it's
so he's a
kinda
friendly.
cool.
He's a friendly,
Yeah,
scary
he's a
skeleton.
friendly guy, you know.
I like it. I like it a
Yeah.
lot. Well, very good. It was a great weekend. Like I said, we went to Lake Pleasant on Friday, which is always pleasant because there's nobody there.
Yeah, Fridays are good.
It was really nice and not uncomfortable whatsoever. So I'm happy we did it. It was the last voyage for the winter.
Yeah.
Got to winterize the boat, put it away. You know, so that was fun. And then Saturday I went to the farmers market and Fall Fest down around the Courthouse Plaza. Perfect day for that. And then watched some football, baby. How about those Sun Devils? I mean, all my teams won this weekend. And the Chiefs play tonight, so we'll see how they do, which I'm counting on a win there. But, I mean, first of all, Friday night with the Badgers, walked away with the W, played against Lee Williams, won 28-7. Bradshaw Mountain also got a W on Friday, beating Coconino 27-20. Then the Sun Devils beat Kansas. They looked really tough.
Yeah.
And what a great game that was. Let's see, they beat Kansas 35-31. Another close game, nail biter. And then the Cardinals yesterday.
Was that great?
Holy cow! I mean, I watched that game too.
Yeah, that was good.
They just squeaked by the 49ers 24-23.
How'd you like that opening drive, though?
I don't think I saw the opening drive. I did not.
You
No.
didn't see the Murray run touchdown?
No, we were driving from Prescott down to the valley. Yeah.
It was the second play, and all of a sudden he turns the corner,
Yeah.
and he looks up at the screen. There's
Right.
like nobody behind him, and he's
Yeah.
like, okay, here I go.
Wow.
60-something yard run.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Good
and
for
that's
him.
kind of set the tone. But
Yeah, lots
that
of
was a good
turnovers.
game.
Lots of turnovers, but it kept it exciting, right?
Yeah, hey,
right down to the very last play.
For the interception.
Yeah, interception. Yeah, very exciting. Did you catch any football, Maddie?
No.
He's looking at me like I'm talking.
No, I
you
heard.
know,
I heard
a
about
foreign
him.
language.
No, I heard about him,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was just
Busy.
busy tearing a
Right.
car apart.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
very exciting weekend.
Well,
Football
it was
wise.
good because, obviously that's a in-conference game.
Yeah.
So, winning, that was important.
Right.
And then, of course, I think Seattle lost, didn't they?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't pay any
But
attention.
anyway, I know we picked up some spots, and that's good for the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
And it's good for Arizona.
Absolutely. And on the road.
Yeah.
Which makes Cardinals fans really angry because they want that kind of win at home. They want to see it in person.
Well, it was funny because the San Francisco team was complaining about the weather
I
being
know.
so hot.
It was so
95
hot.
and humid. And the Arizona team looked, hey, this is pretty good.
Yeah, they're like, this is cool. This
Yeah.
isn't hot.
That's not
I'll
even
show
100
you hot.
degrees.
Too
Oh,
fun.
well, what are you gonna
Too
do?
fun. What are you going to do? Well, I know what I'm going to do. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, more good news you can use here on Leza Live. Stay with us. Right now, ladies, Prescott Women's Clinic is your one stop for complete women's health care. Whatever you need, routine checkups, prenatal care, hormone therapy, menopause management, you can count on the experienced and caring team at Prescott Women's Clinic. They offer personalized care for every stage of your life. If you need prenatal care, if you need whatever, really, if you want to focus just on your wellness, they have everything you need to take care of you, and you need to take control of your health. Schedule that appointment today. They have 2 convenient locations, one in Prescott and one in Prescott Valley. You're worth it. Give them a call, 928-778-4300. You can reach them online at PrescottWomen'sClinic.com. Having a great time this morning on Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM KYCA. Coming up this hour, we are going to be talking with Eric Edelman from the Jim and Linda Lee Planetarium out at Embry-Riddle. So stick around for that. Just right now, a few things to share before we move forward. Today, of course, marks the 1 year since the terrorist attacks in Israel. It's believed the massacre by Hamas gunmen claimed the lives of nearly 1,400 Israelis. More than 100 remain in captivity. According to health officials in Gaza, more than 41,000 Palestinians have died in the ensuing war. I mean, I can't believe it's been a whole year. It's just terrifying to think about what's going on over there. And so our hearts and prayers, of course, and our thoughts are with the Middle East, in that area, the Gaza area.
It's only getting worse.
I know, it is only getting worse.
More and more hectic every day over there.
Yep, absolutely.
Get worse before it gets better.
Yep, it's true. It's true. On a happier note, today is National Frappe Day. The coffee and whipped cream drink that costs about $8 at Starbucks and makes you gain 2 pounds just from looking at it. You know what I'm talking about.
You mean it used to cost $8? Now it's 32.
Yeah, exactly. It was so funny. We were leaving to go to the Valley, and I asked Scott, will you pull over to Starbucks and get me a cold brew? He gets the largest one he could get. I mean, it scared me. Just looking at the thing, I gained weight. Just looking at it. It was this big.
And he had to take out a second mortgage.
Well, pretty much. Yeah, but anyhow, did you guys know that Starbucks didn't invent it? Frappes have been around since the 1890s. The chilled version was created by accident in Greece when a coffee executive couldn't find hot water for his instant coffee, so he put it in a shaker with cold water, and voila, it is now the national drink of Greece, which I'll be partaking in just a couple weeks.
Wunderbar.
Yeah, wunderbar. It's National LED Light Day, celebrating light-emitting diodes and all the cool things we can do with them, like our handy flashlight on our phone or our super-thin TV LEDs. Have been around since the 50s, but back then they could only emit a dim red light. So they have come a long way, baby.
Yeah, it really ramped up in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love my LED TV. I love having a thin TV. Remember how big the TVs used to be? Those big consoles.
I remember when I got rid of my Sony Trinitron, and the guy was putting up the flat screen.
Yeah.
And he moved it, and I thought he got a hernia. The damn thing was so heavy.
It's so heavy.
I mean, it was at least 2.5 feet deep.
Yeah.
And
yes.
it was a tube. And
It's
you had to
crazy.
pay to get rid of it.
You did. Yeah.
You had to pay to get because of the gases in the tube. Is,
Right. You couldn't just
carcinogen.
throw them in the
Yeah, so
garbage.
you just can't put them out on the curb anymore.
Crazy. Do you remember those big TVs, Matt?
Of course.
Back in the day?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
just checking.
Yeah, no, my first TV I bought myself was in middle school when I had a paper route, and my dad was so mad at me
Yeah,
because he didn't want me to have a TV in my room.
right.
And it was a big, tube TV.
Right.
By that point, they were all plastic, but
Sure.
it was still
Still
quite
big.
heavy.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, today is Blue Shirt Day, also known as World Day of Bullying Prevention. October is National Bullying Prevention Month. So show your support today and wear a blue shirt or I'll beat you up. Just kidding.
So
Like I could take Matt. I mean, all he has to do is just put his hand on my forehead and I'd be like that little kid trying to hit him.
So
You might want to go home and change.
okay.
Yeah, is my point. Is my point.
Well, I was gonna say the Walmart people are grandfathered in there.
They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, with their little blue vests. Good for
Yeah.
them. Good on them. Yep, absolutely. So tell me, could you handle this if you had to? A small twin-engine plane was flying from Las Vegas to Monterey, California on Friday when the pilot passed out. This is everybody's biggest fear when you're in one of those little planes. It's just one dude or one female that knows how to fly that plane. Well, the passenger on board had no choice but to land the plane herself. Air traffic control talked her through it. She touched down at an airport in Bakersfield, California. The pilot was taken to a hospital, and the woman who landed the plane wasn't hurt physically, but emotionally, we'll
A
see
mess.
if she gets back on a small little two-engine plane.
Yeah, I'd be all about it.
Yeah. You would, sure.
Yeah.
And Scott Dan does too. You too, Drew. You have the confidence that you could land a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, me not so much. I'd probably pass out just at the thought. The pilot goes down, I'm right behind him
So there'd just be a plane just continuously flying
until you
by
ran
itself.
out of gas. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. Well, here's some real life Lassie stuff. A cop in Washington State randomly saw a dog sitting in the middle of the road, and the dog refused to get into his patrol car. Then she led him to a cabin where her 84-year-old owner was in trouble. Just like
Fantastic.
Lassie would do, right? He'd fallen and hurt his leg, and he'd been stuck there for hours without access to his medications. Police say the 13-year-old dog literally saved his life. Her name is Gita. God bless you, Gita.
Gita Lassie now.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice
do you
story.
think Bella could do that? Or would do that?
I think animals are more capable,
Right.
And they can tell by the how much adrenaline's in your system,
Yeah,
your stress levels, your voice patterns.
yeah. I agree.
I think they could.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the bigger question would be, would she really care about Drew?
Yeah, she cares about Drew. Drew
That's
is her.
for sure, buddy.
Drew,
She knows where her bread's
That's
buttered.
right. That's right. She knows.
You
she
should
knows
be
who her
taking
daddy
care
is.
of as good as that dog. Let me tell you. She has her own cooking. I cook for her. She has her food. She's
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm ready. I'll switch places with the dog.
Right.
Yeah, I
any
was gonna
day.
say, it sounds like she's living better than I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. She
She
certainly is.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to work.
Do you think Bubba lives better than both of
Oh,
us?
yeah. Put together for sure.
I mean, Bubba's got clothes, a closet, shoes, booties.
He's one lucky dude. Yeah, I have to admit it.
Yeah.
Yep. We love our dogs.
Yep.
It's true. All right. Well, coming up, like I said, we're going to be talking with Eric Edelman from the Jim and Linda Lee Planetarium. I'm so excited about this interview. I remember as a kid going to the planetarium in downtown Salt Lake City and just being mesmerized by what I saw on that huge screen and the lounge chairs. Very cool. So Eric's going to tell us all about the planetarium and how we can all check it out with the upcoming shows. Looking forward to that as well. That is straight ahead here on Leza Live. Right now, are you suffering from a toothache that just won't quit? Well, don't let dental emergencies ruin your day. Turn to Pro Solutions Dental Group. They're trusted experts in emergency dental care. With their skilled team and state-of-the-art facilities, they'll have you smiling again in no time, whether it's a cracked tooth, a lost filling, or unbearable pain. Pro Solutions Dental Group is here for you. Don't wait until it's too late. Give the team at Pro Solutions Dental Group a call. Their number's 928-776-1208, or reach them online at PrescottDentist.com. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM, KYCA. Joining us in studio, we have Eric Edelman from the Jim and Linda Lee Planetarium. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me on, Lisa.
I'm so excited to talk to you about this because, like I said, I have vivid childhood memories of spending time at the planetarium. And you just said during the break that the Clark Planetarium is like where a lot of it happens.
It's really big. So there's a few big planetarium movers and shakers that make a lot of domes, make the software, all that stuff. And Evans and Sutherland is home right in Salt Lake City. And that's actually Digistar. Their creation is what we use here in this planetarium.
Wow.
So small world. You got the same kind of thing.
Very nice. And you said, Matt, that you grew up going to a planetarium at the U of A.
At the U of A, down in Tucson.
Right,
yeah,
right.
It was all about the Beatles laser light show.
Right,
Yep,
right.
yep.
I mean, planetariums aren't just for gazing at stars and skies, right?
Yeah, that's actually the goal that we had when we brought this planetarium here to Prescott, because there's different ways to build a planetarium to make one, and one of those is having these amazing optomechanical projectors, the star balls, right? And they're really good at projecting the night sky. We went digital here at this planetarium. So movie theater projectors, digital, same thing, but it allows us versatility to not just look at the stars, but to look at IMAX shows, to go into engineering, nanotechnology. And since we're on a STEM university campus, it means that we're not just covering astronomy. We're trying to go into all the different areas of science. And hey, maybe in the past we also might have brought in some laser light projectors for some Pink Floyd. But,
I bet that was popular.
Oh, yes, we couldn't do enough shows that weekend. I think
Right.
that broke records right there.
I love it.
Whatever
love it.
brings them into those comfy seats. I
Right.
think that's the goal.
You're down for it. Well, let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
How long has the planetarium been here in Prescott, Arizona, and how did it get here?
Yeah, so it's been here about 7 years now. So in 2017, middle of 2017 was the groundbreaking where the planetarium came here right alongside the new STEM building at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. So all of a sudden we have some great labs for the students, some more stuff that they can do to pursue their degree programs, and sort of the crown jewel of that building being that planetarium where not only do we bring in the public for a lot of fun things, but it's also something that students can use to learn, to study. So professors will come in there and look at data sets about how the wind speed's going across our planet, how different parts of the periodic table can be visualized, all that kind of stuff. So it's people coming in from outside, but also people using it inside being that main goal. And one of the other reasons, though, that the planetarium came to be here is because the university knew that when it came to the public perception of campus, there weren't a lot of ways to get on campus. There were a lot of planes flying over, but what did that mean? What are people doing there? Is it just flying planes? I mean, that's a lot of it. But this is also, it was purposely came to this university, to this campus, to be a window for individuals who might not know what Embry-Riddle's all about. And so all of a sudden they can come on campus, they can go to the dining hall, and they can eat some food, and then they can go see a show. And they can also, after some of the shows, learn a little bit about what these amazing students are doing in terms of research. Sometimes they present research about fishing, about different parts of flight and what they're doing in business management related to it. And so people get this whole, not just a planetarium show, but insight into what some amazing students are studying at Embry-Riddle.
I love it. I love it. How big is the planetarium? How many people can sit in there?
So we got 116 fixed spots and 5 spots for wheelchair-like devices.
Very
so
nice.
max about 120 people can fit in there. We have a 47-foot diameter dome, which when it comes to planetariums, that's pretty big for a university campus. That
I
we
would
get to
think
show
so.
a lot. Our big thing this season is that we have whales going 47 foot across. So, like, if you've ever seen a whale up close, if not, this is your chance to see them pretty big.
That is amazing. That is amazing. How often do you have shows for the public to view?
So we tend to be open most weekends. So we have Friday nights, Saturday afternoons, where when it's the regular business hours, the Monday through Friday to 5, that's when there's a lot of stuff happening in terms of professors teaching classes and all that stuff, and we don't get in the middle of that too much. But when the campus closes for students, well, not that it ever does, but proverbially, it opens up for the public, and we really do try to bring in a lot of different opportunities for them on those weekends. So I'm saying that now, but then next weekend we're not doing public shows, but the following weekend we are, I promise. hiatus. We're
Yeah.
coming back. So we have the occasional break, but we try to be as active as we can during those weekends. So somebody can just look at the schedule the one day and be like, hey, yeah, I want to see a show about nanotechnology. Yeah, let me show up. So
Right,
that
right.
kind of thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have to buy tickets to go to the show? And is the schedule online?
Yes. So you do have to buy tickets, and the goal for that is really we didn't want people to show up en masse and then have to turn them away,
Sure,
right?
sure.
That our dreams of popularity make us safe. So there is a website online, though the easiest way to get to us is to Google Prescott Planetarium, Jim and Linda Lee Planetarium, Embry-Riddle Planetarium, whatever it is, we'll show up.
Right.
And then on our website, there's a list of the different shows, the schedule that we have, and if you're like, ooh, that looks interesting, you can go on and you can get your seats for that. We do try and keep it affordable. Like, our goal is accessibility, trying to make sure that whatever walk of life you're coming from, whatever point of interest, you have a show that interests you, and also you can get in to see that show.
Right.
And so roughly the tickets tend to be around $6, though if we there's some other ones that are a little bit pricier, but we try to keep the average around $6.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you have the Wales show going on right now.
Well, it passed, but I promise it's coming back.
Okay,
we
'cause
have
I'm like, that's the one I wanted to see.
we've gotten that so much that
Yeah.
we had a weekend of whales, and then the talk spread, and people were so sad they missed the whales or they didn't see the whales enough times. So we're bringing back the whales. I promise it's happening. It's going to be next season, so it's going to
Okay.
be in spring that we're going to bring them back. That's a program that we have for a couple years now. Though we do have to get others their time in the spotlight, so it's
Sure.
just going to take a couple months, but. Yes, whales will return. That has broken really all the records is our water show. So we had one a little bit earlier where we were diving into the ocean, seeing the coral reefs, and that was amazing. I feel like maybe they have to exchange me for a marine biologist at some point because that seems to be what people want to see. And I get it.
Yes.
We're landlocked here.
Right.
There's not a lot of places to go to the ocean that are very close by. And so that's part of it, that we try to give people experiences that you can't normally find in your day-to-day life. And
Right.
part of that can be gigantic whales, and we're happy to
I
contribute
love it.
that.
I love it. So what kind of programs do you have coming up?
Oh, yeah. So there's a lot coming around. We're in the middle of our fall season. So we have
Okay.
a few different seasons in the planetarium. So
Okay.
we sort of go alongside the Embry-Riddle academic year. So we have our fall season alongside their fall semester, their spring season, and also our summer season. So middle of fall right now. And in a couple of weekends, we're doing a program that was actually requested by one of our regular audience members he comes to a lot of the shows, and he also has helped facilitate some of our field trips. So he's seen both sides of things.
Neat.
And he thought it would be interesting for the public to be able to see what we do for field trips, that maybe not everybody that wants to have a really strongly educational program is in the K through 12 schools right now. So
Right.
now anybody can come and see this. What it's called is a tour of the solar system, and exactly what it sounds like, that we're going through our local neighborhood of the universe, that there's a live presenter on mic, and they're going to be talking about the different planets, the moons, the sun, and giving just some of the general information about objects that are close by to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I don't know how many people know, what is the planet that you could throw it in a bathtub full of water and it would float? The planet that has over 100 moons, or the planet that has a hexagon storm on it? Spoiler alert, those are all Saturn. But
I'm thinking, is he going to ask me? Because I can't remember. I'm sure I knew at one point.
yeah, but those are the kinds of things, and whatever knowledge background people are coming in with, that we're here to just give them more of a heightened experience. So that's coming up in a couple weekends. Also on that same weekend, that Saturday morning, we have a similar show, but for kids 6 and under and their families.
Oh, wow.
So same kind of show, but Our Friends the Planets, and it has at the end of it a sing-along, which, be warned, if you hear it, it will not escape your brain. That has been what's going on in my mind for the past 2 years.
Please do not sing it, Eric.
I am exhibiting every ounce of self-control
I
I
can
have
tell.
in my body.
I can tell.
It's a struggle, but I'm doing my best. But yes, so that's coming around. So that's in a couple weekends. And then following that, we actually have a debut of our newest staff member here at the planetarium. So now we have, alongside myself as the director, we have an assistant director, Susie Girton. She has worked at some of the most famous planetariums out there. She's been at Griffith Park Observatory, for example,
wow.
and she's just such a powerhouse. She's going to be presenting a show that we do regularly called The Rising Stars of Prescott. So that one is your planetarium classic, your bread and butter, right? That if you want to know the stars, the planets, the constellations, the meteor showers, what's coming up in your night sky, that is the show. It is your astronomical weather report.
I love it.
And so she's going to be presenting those shows that weekend. And alongside that, I have to say, so all of those shows are happening after or right around or after when the sun sets, because we want to showcase the newest telescope that we have. That after those Rising Stars shows, we have public observing nights that happen, and we recently got a smart telescope. Everything's getting smart these days, but I promise this is really cool in that it does some real-time processing that makes it so that even like those distant nebulae, those star clusters, come in real full view. Like if you've never seen like a deep sky object in a telescope before, if you've never seen the rings of Saturn in a telescope, like those kinds of things, that can be an amazing experience. And so I will have to say, weather permitting, clouds can stop us, but weather permitting, we're going to have that new telescope out. It's called an Odyssey Pro. It is so cool, and I hope people get the chance to enjoy it.
Yes.
So those are a couple that are coming into October. I can even speed through November if you want.
Well,
but
let's take a quick break, and then we'll hear about what's coming up in November, because now aren't you all so interested, and don't you all want to go to the planetarium and check out these shows? Because I'm like,
it's time to
sign me
go.
up.
Yep.
It's time to go. We'll go as a team. How about that? A team bonding and building experience.
Team building.
Yeah.
Nice.
You, me, and Drew, and Scott Dandos.
Scott Dennis, all right.
All right, more with Eric Edelman coming up here on Leza Live right now. Just a very friendly reminder to get yourself down to the Artful Eye Jewelers, middle of Whiskey Row, downtown Prescott, and sign up for your chance to win a $1,000 shopping spree. Super easy to do. All you have to do is stop into the store, try on beautiful jewelry, add your favorites to their wishes and dreams list. This makes it super easy for your loved ones to shop for you during the holiday seasons. And like I said, one lucky winner is going to win that $1,000 shopping spree. That's a lot of Artful Eye jewelry. So stop on in and sign yourself up at the Artful Eye Jewelers, middle of Whiskey Row, downtown Prescott. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM KYCA. My guest this morning, Eric Edelman from the Jim and Linda Lee Planetarium, and also the Community Outreach Director. Speaking of community outreach, you were telling us about the events that the community can partake in October, and you have some coming up in November as well.
Yeah, so the first week of November is a big one. So there's a show that we're going to have just that weekend. If you want to see it, that's your chance at this planetarium. You can probably see it at the planetariums, but this is your chance here. That it's Mysteries of the Unseen World, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You can see a lot with your eyes, but what can't you see? And it goes into things like nanotechnology and just all of the areas that our brains can't process in the way that maybe equipment that can help us can. And so this is a show that's all about that, and we're bringing that in specifically for a conference that's going to be happening, or a Girls in STEM conference.
Oh,
so
nice.
trying to inspire the next generation of girls to be excited to be those STEM professionals, STEM, that science, technology, engineering, mathematics, particularly on that nanotechnology sort of segment. So for girls, it's free to sign up, by the way, middle and high school. That if they want to sign up, I'd recommend they can go to the Planetarium Facebook page. It's JLL Planetarium, and there's a sign-up link right on there. So they can go and, totally free, where they get to have these amazing experiences in STEM, and they get to also have some food, too. I think they're going to be fed.
Food is always good.
That can
Feed
be a
the girls.
motivating factor. There's a lot of STEM things that we try to do to outreach into the community.
Yes. So the public can actually see that program as well.
Yeah, so that's there's going to be a special showing for those girls, but also in general, the public can see that as well, and it's on our website there. But we're able to bring it in special for that event. So
That's awesome.
It was our excuse, and we're celebrating it.
Yeah, good for you. That's fantastic. Well, and having kids particularly come out to the planetarium is something that you guys do regularly, field trips and...
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, so it tends to be most Tuesday and Thursday mornings that we're bringing in different schools throughout the area. And schools can mean a lot of things. I always want to emphasize that. It's not always like the specific, K through 12, public school.
Right.
It can be things like homeschool collectives. I recently learned the term micro school. Like, there's a lot of different types of ways that children are educated around here. And whatever that is, whatever that educational group is, we want them in learning about the stars, learning about the universe, or a different part of it. Maybe it's stuff about nanotechnology. Maybe it's engineering. We have a lot of different things we can go into with them.
Sure.
But yeah, field trips is a big part of what we do, because we're really we want to inspire that next generation. We want to make sure that everybody feels they have a shot in these different fields, and that's important. That's essential. And so we don't charge for any of those field trips. We don't pay for their buses, but as long as they can get here, they can have that experience.
Lovely.
And we want all those educators to sign up, go to our website, Google the planetarium. You can find our field trip access form, and we want you here. Long story short.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, you obviously were inspired by the stars at one point in your life.
No, of course not.
After this quick break, I want to hear how you got involved. I want to hear your story. And you're the director of the Jim and Linda Lee Planetarium right here in Prescott, Arizona. How did you get here? All right, that's coming up on Leza Live. Stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you for hanging out with us this morning. It's Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM, KYCA. We're talking with Eric Edelman, the director of the Jim and Linda Lee Planetarium at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And I'm just curious, how did you get involved in the world of planetariums?
Yeah, spoiler alert, weird story. In that, I don't think there's a normal way to get into planetariums just because they are this really unique thing, right?
Yes.
Myself, I like to consider myself a failed English major. So
Okay.
I actually went to university to get a degree in English, maybe go into like journalism, diplomacy, politics, something like that. Surprisingly, I realized, it wasn't quite for me. And so I had a bit of a crisis of identity of what I wanted to pursue. And so I started reading fundamental books in some of the different fields, getting like a psychology textbook, trying to read Kant, quickly giving up on Kant. And then I got a hold of Stephen Hawking's book, A Brief History of Time. And all of a sudden, I was hearing about these incredible concepts in the universe in a way that was digestible, was understandable. I'm not sure if it's apocryphal, but there's this story about Hawking talking to his publisher and his publisher telling him, for every equation you put into your book, your audience is going to be halved. And so what he ended up doing is just putting in E equals mc squared.
Okay.
Besides that, everything, as we're talking about black holes, the universe, it's all words. It's all explanations. And I started thinking, why has nobody ever explained the universe to me in this way that is exciting and also comprehensible? And so all of a sudden I found my vendetta. I was going to be the one to explain these things in a way that I was
Nice.
excited about.
Yeah.
And so I ended up getting degrees in astronomy, and I really wanted to use them to not do research so much, but to talk about that research, to talk about science to the general public. And so where the Venn diagram of astronomy, specialty, and storytelling tend to cross over, that tends to be pretty dome-shaped. And so I ended up getting into domes.
You found your calling.
And they were building here at Embry-Riddle a planetarium right when I was trying to find a full-time management position. So the stars aligned, as they say.
Absolutely.
And I'm here today.
What a great story, Eric. That is a great story and a great segue to the next thing I want to talk about. You guys have a mobile dome.
Yes, yes. So we recently, due to our generous patrons, Jim and Linda Lee, we were able to bring in a mobile planetarium dome. Is exactly what it sounds like. So it's this dome that we literally inflate,
Yeah.
but it fits into a couple of duffel bags, and so we can actually bring it on the road with us. So we're traveling, we're mobile now,
Neat.
and for any of those schools, for those students, for those kids that can't reach us, our goal is to be able to come to them. And so that's all a part of sort of the Lee's vision of really helping when it comes to rural education, to make sure that we leave no kid abandoned when it comes to that inspiration, so that they can all feel like they have that access, that we can get to them, and they know they have that option to dive into the STEM fields. And so we've already been to a few schools, like in Humboldt and in Skull Valley, and we have more on the way. And if you are an educator or you're part of a community that maybe would have trouble getting to Embry-Riddle here in Prescott, we have signups available for this mobile dome as well. So again, Googling us, Prescott Planetarium, Jim and Linda Lee Planetarium, there's a STEM outreach page. You can fill out a field trip form, and it asks you if you're interested in our mobile dome. And so we are scheduling those field trips now. We would love to come to people that maybe don't have the resources to come to us. And it's the same kind of thing, seeing those stars larger than life right above your head.
That is amazing. So do the kids actually sit inside the dome? How does it work?
Yeah, and so we actually, since it's usually we set up in like a gymnasium. So what we tend to do is we give them a cushion. They all have their parachute, and then they go through the airlock, go, 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 with their little cushion, and then they sit inside there and in a circle around the main projector and the presenter. It's much more than the larger dome. This personalized experience, like we're all sitting around a campfire and hearing a story.
Yeah.
And so that is what it is, that the kids, we can fit around 30 of them at a time. So it's just about a class that comes in there, and then they're sitting on the ground and seeing the stars and having that strong connection hopefully fostered. I can say personally, the mobile planetarium dome visited my school in elementary school. Like, that was my first time being in a planetarium. And we've noticed that for some of the schools that we visit, we'll ask them, how many of you have been in a planetarium before? And for a majority of the places that we visited with the Mobile Planetarium Dome so far, it has been their first experience ever being in a planetarium before, which is amazing. It's
That is
exciting.
amazing.
Reaching new people. That's always what
Yes.
our goal is. So,
Yes. Oh, I love it. Just the idea that if they can't get to you, you're going to go to them.
we're leaving no stone unturned.
That is fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about funding. Do you guys accept donations? Are you nonprofit? What's the story there?
Yeah, so we are a nonprofit, and so our goal is not to make money so much as to be able to sustain ourselves and sustain our operation. And so we have, like I was mentioning, our tickets, we tend to make them as cheap as we possibly can so that anybody can access. We have our field trips as free, and we do accept donations, and those can help us a lot. But we also do different fundraising events. We had a celebratory spring celestial gala a couple years ago. That's actually
nice.
where the Mobile Dome came from. Is that we
Okay.
have certain events where we are looking for people that are passionate in the community about education, about planetariums, about spreading science and communicating science out and around to join us and to help in those fundraising causes. I don't have one right around the corner I can mention to you, but it is a part of definitely what supports us is our wonderful people who believe in the same vision and want to walk forward with us.
Wonderful. Well, your website is a great resource. I got on it this morning, and there's a lot of frequently asked questions and a lot of information. Like you said, the schedule is there, so people can check out. Just coming out to the planetarium and buying a ticket and seeing what you're doing out there is supporting your efforts. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to have team building out at the planetarium.
I love it.
We're going to schedule it, and it's going to be a great time. Thank you so much for coming in, Eric. It was so enlightening.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow.